Welcome to my channel. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe.
Hello students, it's me Sudeep Kargi, your online tutor. Today we are going to study Unit 3 Energy from class 10 Science. This is not a hard chapter, it is a simple chapter, so I am starting from the simple one. Now the energy, it has to do various work in our daily life. We need energy. There are various forms of energy: sound energy, heat energy, light energy, muscular energy. Talking about living beings, food provides them energy. Without energy, the universe cannot run. The universe is all about matter and energy. So today we are going to study about the energy. Now, talking about the sources of energy, there are two types of energy: non-renewable source of energy and renewable source of energy. When you talk about non-renewable source of energy, it cannot be renewed. Once used, they are exhausted. That means they are finished. They cannot be replenished or replaced. Examples are coal, mineral oil, natural gas, and other fossil fuels. So, fossil fuels are those fuels which are obtained from the remaining of dead animals and plants and inside the earth for millions of years. Now, talking about renewable source of energy, they can be renewed. Once exhausted, they can again be regrown, like they are inexhaustible. For example, solar energy, wind energy, hydropower energy, geothermal energy, tidal energy, biomass energy are the examples of renewable source of energy. These energy sources, they never get exhausted. They can be, even though they are exhausted, they can be replaced in short interval of time. That is why they are called renewable source of energy. They can be renewed with time. Next is sun. Now the sun is the center of our solar system and it has great role. It provides energy to our earth. We are living on earth. It provides solar energy to all the solar system. And why it is important, why it is the ultimate source of energy, means ultimate means it is the only source of energy, or it is the source of energy for or all energies or all other forms of energy. They are the result of solar energy. That is why it makes ultimate source of energy. The sun plays a vital role for existence of living things on earth. So every living being, they depend on solar energy directly or indirectly. Now we use fossil fuel. Fossil fuel, they are formed from the living beings. So living beings, they depend on our photosynthesis. It occurs due to the solar energy, and other organisms, they depend on that green plants which perform photosynthesis. That is why fossil fuel are also the indirect result of solar energy. Similarly, hydroelectricity. Hydroelectricity, it is the result of water cycle. The heat of sun, it runs the water cycle. The water is heated, it forms cloud and rainfall occurs. Then from the flowing river we can produce hydroelectricity, which is also the result of effect of solar energy. Similarly, biofuel. Since life, it depends on the solar energy, biofuel is also the result of solar energy. Similarly, tidal energy. The tides are formed due to the gravitation force of sun, and those tides are used to produce the energy. Okay, now these energy forms are direct or indirect form of solar energy. Now, whatever source of energy are available on Earth's surface, they are transformed from the solar energy. So that makes it ultimate source of energy. That makes sun as the ultimate source of energy for Earth. Now, the description, it is given here: plant prepare food by themselves, and about the formation of river, oceans, about the hydroelectricity. You can read here by pausing the video. Now, facts about the sun. So here are some facts about the sun. Uh, since this book is issued by CDC, these are the data to be followed. Okay, then these data are reliable than any other book. Temperature of surface of sun is more important. So I am directly going to the important points. Temperature of the surface, it is 5700 degrees Celsius. It might be asked in the exam. Next one is energy radiation. It is 4 into 10 to the power 26 joule per second. Per second, sun releases, in 1 second, sun releases 4 into 10 to the power 26 joules of energy. Another important is average solar energy received by the earth. You must know this, okay? It is 1.4 kilowatt per square meter per second. So per square meter per second, it releases 1.4 kilowatt. Our earth per square meter in 1 second, it receives 1.4 kilowatt energy. Other data you can see there, and just they are not so much important to be asked in the exam. However, you can know them. Now, sources of energy. What are the sources of energy? We are going to study about the sources of energy and their usage. Now, first one is fossil fuel. Why fossil fuel is kept first? Because many part of the energy is fulfilled by fossil fuel. Our earth or human civilization, it uses more amount of fossil fuel than any other fuels, because it is portable, it can be transported easily, isn't it? It has no any restriction. It can be transported from one part of country to the other part of the one part of world to the other part of the world. And it is obtained from the remains of dead animals and plants which were buried under the earth crust millions of years ago. These are fossils, and the fuel are formed after the um, regular regular high pressure and temperature inside the earth crust. From the hard part, coal is formed, and from the soft part, mineral oils are formed, and natural gases are also formed during the process. Now, first, inside fossil fuel, first one is given here is coal. Coal is used as fuel in industries, factories, and trains. So, the train which was used to uh, run with steam, which contains steam engine, so that steam, it needs more amount of heat to be produced. To produce steam from water, we need more amount of heat. So coal was used in steam engines. Now, in Nepal, the occurrence of high quality coal, the high quality coal is anthracite, it has not been detected, and low quality coal, lignite, is found in Dang district. Now, it takes millions of years for formation of coal, and uh, it is non-renewable energy sources. It cannot be renewed, isn't it? So, first thing is it takes million of years to form coal. Other thing is plant material should be buried inside the earth. If they are not buried, then no coal is formed. So they should be used rationally. Proper use should be made. Next one is mineral oil. Okay, mineral oil like petrol, diesel, kerosene, they are all mineral oil, and they are obtained from crude oil inside the earth crust, and they have various uses, wide uses for running vehicles like motor car, ship, aeroplane, many more. Uh, Crude oil is taken out from the mine, from the oil mine. Crude oil is taken out, and then they have different carbon content in them, and they are volatile matter. Means volatile means they easily evaporate. So they are refined Okay, they are refined, and fractional distillation is done to separate different oils. Asphalt is used for road construction. The remaining residue is asphalt, paraffin and lubricating oil. Asphalt, I think that is alcatra. It is used for road construction. The raw materials used for making plastics are also produced after refining mineral oil. The materials which is used to make plastic, they are obtained from the raw material, remaining material after processing of the crude oil. Now liquefied petroleum gas is also um, made during purification of crude oil, and this energy, as it as I mentioned earlier, it takes million of years to form. Okay, now what are the advantages? So we use them because they have many advantages. Without advantage, people will not use, despite of their despite of their uh, shortcomings, or despite of their disadvantages. We use fossil fuel because they have more advantages than disadvantages. First one is, fossil fuels are cheaper and easily available. They are easily available, they are cheaper. It can easily be transported in any needy places, from one part of world to the other corner of the world. It is used for various purposes to run industries, automobiles, generator, for very wide purpose. And other thing is, it can also be used to generate electricity. We can obtain electricity from that, so we can run electric appliances as well. So it has very wide application. Moving towards the hydropower. Hydro means water and power means capacity of doing work. So the power generated by water is hydropower, and that hydropower is used to generate electricity in hydroelectricity station. Now electricity, it runs various appliances, electrical appliances like computer, radio, TV, telephone. It is used for heating purposes. It is used to run fans. Modern houses, they use electricity in huge amount. Now huge amount of electricity can be generated from current of fast flowing river. Fast flowing river produces high amount of heat energy. Though it is expensive in the initiation, it is cheaper in the long run after using for a long time. Once it is set up, then it can be used for a long period of time, which makes it cheaper in the long run. Our country, our country is a mountainous country, and there are various fast flowing rivers, and it is second richest country in hydroelectric power potentiality, and it has capacity of 83,000 megawatt, but less than 1000 megawatt of electricity is generated. So our country, our government should give more focus on generating this electricity, this hydroelectricity. Because what is the reason behind giving emphasis on this hydroelectricity power plant? Because there are fast flowing perennial rivers in our country. Those we are rich in the water resources, that is fast flowing rivers are here, from which we can generate electricity. So government should focus on that. The model of hydroelectric power project is given here, simple model. uh, Now the advantages. What are the advantages of this hydroelectricity power project? The initial cost is high but cheaper in long term. One advantage. It supplies energy without pollution. It does not do any pollution. Pollution free energy. It is pollution free energy. It is a non-renewable source of energy. Sorry, it is a renewable source of energy, so it will never get exhausted. Means it can be renewed again and again, because the water cycle, it is running due to solar energy. The sun is running the water cycle in earth, and that is why it is never exhausted. The river will always flow, isn't it? They will never stop. It is easy to transform to other form of energy, thus it is considered as multi-purpose source of energy. So we can transform we can transform this energy to other form of energy, so it is multi-purpose source of energy. Now it is widely used in electric and electronic devices. So the electricity generated from hydropower, it can be widely used in electric and electronic appliances. So they are transported to our electricity is transported from hydro electricity power plant to our home through the wires. Next one is alternative source of energy. Now alternative source of energy, those energy sources which reduce the load on non-renewable source of energy. Alternative source of energy are those source of energy which reduce the load on non-renewable sources. As we have studied just now, non-renewable sources means which cannot be renewed. Once used, they get exhausted. So uh, all the renewable and perpetual source of energy are considered as alternative source of energy. So those energy which can be renewed and which are perpetual, never finishing energy, like solar energy, it never depletes. That type of energy are alternative source of energy. But non-renewable sources, they get exhausted after use, after regular use, since they are in fixed amount. Now biomass, next energy source is biomass. The energy released by the biomass is called biomass energy. Now the biomass are agricultural residue, animal waste, food waste, they are biomass. Now for example, hay, straw, stalks of jute, maize, husk, sawdust, firewood, animal dung are the example of biomass which we are very familiar to them. In rural areas of Nepal, cattle dung is also, it can be changed into uh, biomass energy by drying it, changing into cylindrical shape and drying. Now the biogas plant is considered using modern technology. So from biomass we can produce biogas, which is the modern technology. So from traditional, these other source of energy are traditional. Now changing that biomass into biogas is the modern technology, which is uh, easy to set up and which is pollution free, and raw materials are available locally in our country, since our country is agricultural country. And it is used to, this biogas is used to cook food, it is used to set fire, it is used to light house, it has various uses. It produces no smoke, pollution free. Now the waste product obtained after producing biogas, after we produce biogas from biomass, the remaining matter, it can be used as organic fertilizer in the agriculture, which is very healthy for crops. Organic fertilizers are good then, or they have less disadvantages than chemical fertilizer. Human wastage and poultry droppings also can be used to produce biogas. Okay, human wastage, poultry droppings, the people who are doing poultry farms, they can set up biogas plant. The places, public places like school and other hospitals, they can produce they can place a biogas plant and they can produce biogas from human wastage, because many people visit there and large amount of human excreta are collected there. And government has also provided help and subside for the construction of biogas plant. uh, Government is giving more emphasis because our country is agricultural country and we have to buy fossil fuel from other countries. So to prevent that, or to lessen that, to reduce that, our country is giving more emphasis on the biogas plant, so that we'll be independent in that energy sources. Now advantage of biogas, the raw materials cost no money and are easily available in the rural areas. First thing, no cost, without any cost we can get raw materials. And it can be used for cooking as well as lighting purpose. We can cook, we can light houses. It does not produce smoke, and it does not cause air pollution. The waste product obtained from the production of biogas can be used as a good organic fertilizer. I have already explained these points. So these are the advantages of biogas. Now nuclear energy. Nuclear energy, the enormous amount of energy is released when two or more nuclei undergo a nuclear reaction. So in the nuclear reaction, so what the nuclear reaction is? When one element it splits into two, then it is called nuclear fission reaction. And when the element, two or more element, they combine to form a single element, it is nuclear fusion reaction. Fission means splitting and fusion means combining, adding, isn't it? Now hydrogen bombs, so nuclear fusion it occurs in sun. Nuclear fusion it occurs in sun, and hydrogen bomb are made on the basis of reaction involved in this process. So based on this reaction, based on nuclear fusion reaction, hydrogen bombs are made, which release a high amount of energy, and it is very much destructive. Now there is regular process of nuclear fusion reaction resulting in the production of heat and light energy continuously in sun. Now the process in which an unstable nucleus of heavy atom, now heavy atom like uranium, which is radioactive element, they split up into two lighter nuclei, that is barium and krypton. It diffuses into barium and krypton. During that process it releases large amount of energy. During that process it releases a large amount of energy. This is called nuclear or thermonuclear fission, or generally we can say nuclear fission reaction. Now this, the relation of the mass energy relation, it is propounded by Albert Einstein. The famous equation E equals to mc square, where m is the mass of object, E is energy converted, and c is the velocity of light. Now this nuclear fission, according to Albert Einstein, mass can be changed into energy. Okay, this is the mass energy relationship. Now nuclear fission is processed in nuclear fission process is carried out in a nuclear power plant. We call nuclear power plant, where we can conduct this nuclear fission reaction. Now that produces large amount of heat energy, and that heat energy is used to boil water, and due to the high amount of heat the water changes into steam, and the steam has very high STEAM steam. Okay, that is STEAM steam. That steam has high energy, which can be used to rotate turbine or generators, and electricity can be produced from that energy. Now thermonuclear fusion reaction is not practically feasible in earth because large amount of because it cannot be controlled due to the production of large amount of energy in the fusion reaction. Only fission is feasible in our earth. Nuclear fission reaction is feasible in our earth. Next energy source is tidal energy. Now nowadays new techniques are developed to generate energy from the tides. Now you can see here the diagram of tidal energy. There are different form of different techniques to produce tidal energy. Not only one type of setup, there are different type of setup from which we can according to the place, according to the volume of tide, there are different types of structures made to harvest the tidal energy. Now here the water carried by tides can be collected in tidal dams constructed as the certain height of seashore. In the seashore we can make tidal dams where the tidal water, when tide form, the water will be collected, and during low tide the level of ocean falls below the level of water in the dam, and when there is low tide the ocean level falls and water level in the dam is high. then the water released to fall on the turbine which drives generator to produce energy. In this way, when we release the water, then it rotates the turbine which produces electricity. The tidal energy can be produced electricity only at certain time and for a short period, and also process near suitable sites. So we have to choose the site. But this source of energy is not possible in our country. In our country there is no sea, so we cannot dream of this tidal energy. Next one is wind energy. It is obviously this wind energy, it is in our country. Now high speed wind, it is used to run windmills. In our country, Mustang has high potentiality of wind energy, and turbine can be run from the wind turbines, from which electricity can be generated and used for different purposes. Previously people used to use windmill directly to grind mills, to grind floors and for various other purpose. Source of energy, it never gets exhausted, that is, it never gets finished. Okay, now next is geothermal energy. Next one is geothermal energy. This geothermal energy, it is the heat energy inside the earth. Geo means earth and thermal means heat. The inner and outer core of earth is extremely hot due to high temperature and pressure, and the temperature of earth crust inside earth, the temperature increases by 30 degrees Celsius in 1 kilometer deep, and whereas in volcanic areas the rate is 80 degrees Celsius per kilometer. In non-volcanic areas it is 30 degrees Celsius per kilometer, and in volcanic regions it is 80 degrees Celsius per kilometer. Now in order to obtain geothermal energy, two parallel holes are drilled. You can see in the diagram there are two parallel holes, and from one hole cold water is injected, and as the water gets heated it changes into steam, and hot water or hot steam it is obtained from the other pipe, and that steam is used to run turbine, or it is used to cool other liquid, and again that liquid, the steam generated from that liquid, it can be changed into electrical energy by the generator. This energy uses heat inside the earth crust. Now next is solar energy. It is also the renewable source of energy. The sun is most abundant and everlasting source of energy on earth. Solar energy never gets depleted. The energy given by the sun is called solar energy. The solar cell is a device which converts solar energy directly into electrical energy. There are solar panels, solar cell, photo cells which convert solar energy into electrical energy. Now beside the traditional uses, solar energy is used in different purposes, used for different purposes. That is traditional uses like drying foods, isn't it, for preservation, and many other. It is used in operating artificial satellite as well as operating communication devices in remote areas. Now this satellite uses solar energy, isn't it, and in remote areas where there is no supply of electricity, they use solar energy for running the houses or electric appliances, and it is pollution free. It does not cause any pollution. It is very healthy energy. Now these are the sources of energy. Now next we are going to study about the energy crisis, the scenario of energy crisis. The fossil fuel, since human depend on fossil fuel, now more than 80% or about 80% world's demand is on fossil fuel like natural gas, coal and mineral oil. They are using that, and if the rate increases there will be energy crisis in very near future. The sources of these fuels are mines, but they are limited in nature, so there is limited stock of these fossil fuels in earth. Also, the sources of these fuels are not renewable. They are not renewable. They cannot be renewed. It takes millions of years to form this energy. And another condition is living matter should be buried inside the earth. If it is not buried, then no fossil fuel are formed. Now, according to a survey done in 1984 AD, it was predicted that the mineral well reserves will have been emptied within 25 to 30 years. Now, within 25 to 30 years, it would have been finished. In 1984, there was a survey, but it has been estimated in mid Eastern Asia there is still new storage of oil 3 times bigger than the existing one. So there is just one estimation, prediction. So it is not still proved. In Middle East Asia there may be new storage. So if we find the storage, then we will outcome this energy crisis. The demand for this mineral oils and coal is increased by 2.3% every year. Every year 2.3% rate is increasing for the demand of the mineral oil. According to various sources, storage of this minerals oil will be depleted by 2037 AD. By 2037 AD, it will be depleted if it is used in the same rate, that is 2.3%. Now, thus, the world is likely to face a problem of scarcity of energy. At that time, after finishing the fossil fuel, then there will be scarcity of energy. Those vehicles, those automobiles, those modern houses, they will be just a crap. They will not have any meaning. The future scarcity of energy sources on Earth due to overpopulation, urbanization, and industrialization is called energy crisis. Now, present status of energy use and its conservation. At present, 35% of energy demand of world has been covered by mineral oil. So, mineral oil it is covering 35% of energy demand. The consumption of this non-renewable source of energy has been increased. It is increasing. Okay, in previous paragraph also we have studied. With rapid population growth, various development activities. So the world is developing. Still, there are underdeveloped countries and developing countries. So they are also using, the rate is increasing as they are developing. The rate of using fossil fuel is increasing. So industrialization it cost high amount of energy to fulfill that. About 20%, 27% of energy demand has been covered by coal, and yearly it is increased by 2.3%. So coal it provides 27% of energy, and it is increasing per year by 2.3%. And biomass energy is being used mainly in rural parts of developing countries. So biomass it is being used mainly in the rural parts of countries, which covers only about 13% of the energy need of the world. Now, hydroelectricity it is supplying about only 5% of the commercial energy used in world. In the commercial energy, among the commercial energy used, only 5% is covered by hydroelectricity. Whereas nuclear energy covers about 3% of energy demand. Nuclear energy only covers 3% of the energy demand. Every individual and local level must be conscious. So each and every individual, each local level, they should be more conscious about this use of this non-renewable energy sources. So what can be done to save the energy? So alternative source of energy should be developed and widely used. So vehicles running from solar energy or through electricity should be developed. Non-renewable energy sources should be preserved for future. They should be preserved for future use, or they should be used in less amount so that it will run for a long time. Now, rapid population growth should be controlled. So more population, they need more energy. So if the population is controlled, then the usage of energy is also controlled. And also awareness about the importance of energy, they should be created in the public. They should know from where it comes. It is limited or unlimited. So it should be made aware. Now here is the summary of this chapter. You can see there, and exercise. Okay, you can see the exercise. Here are objective questions, and similarly there are important questions. Answer the following questions. The sun is regarded as the main source of energy. So you can do this exercise. These are important questions. Give reason, difference between, and here is some project work. Okay, thank you students for listening me. You can practice this exercise, and if there are any confusion you can comment in the comment box, and please subscribe my channel for more videos like this. Thank you.